you. And before I begin, a small confession. I'm now a Canadian, but I go back to the morning address of Mr. Sabaya, where he said that at age 5 is the time that you build your values and stuff like that. So I'm proud to have built my values in Chetpet at age 5. I went to school there, and I'm happy to be back here and share learnings with you. So what I'm going to try and do in 10 minutes, I believe, and I'll try and sneak in a couple of more if I could. A quick look at value, value-oriented retailing, the significant impact that customer service has on the value chain. Suggest a framework to design service strategy, and really from strategy, how do you take it into tactics, right? That's the here and now. We tend to look at value as this plus this plus this, and supply chain seems to dominate much of value chain thinking and talking. But we rarely try to look at it from a customer's perspective, right? So for the customer, all the stuff that you're doing, all your ERP, all your training, all your mall per square foot footfall analysis, analytics, all that, I really couldn't care less. For me, value is what is it doing to me? And I have a certain perception of the value that your service, your outfit, your set of business processes is adding to my life. And it's the view that I take, is it worth the money that I'm spending? Yeah. So let's wear the shoes of a customer for a moment. How often does really each one of us talk about receiving outstanding customer service? I mean, can anyone in this room say, put up their hands and say, hey, I had this great moment day before yesterday? Anyone? Yep. Sorry. But the flip side, if you are asked to crib, and I ask that question, how many horror stories do you have? Sure, we are full of them, right? We observe the tiniest flaws, and we are quick to take umbrage at any kind of customer service mishap at the drop of a hat. And we speak, and we talk, and we talk, and we talk, and we tell all our friends about what went wrong in this place, in this shop, and they are this, and they are that, right? And that's the impact that customer service has. So, as you probably know, and you've been talking throughout the day and for remaining sessions, the value chain is a bundle of all of this, right? Your location, and we heard a lot of dialogue about location and a mall versus T-Nagar versus ambiance versus brands, and all of that. So it's that whole magic that is being put together by the retailer who's constantly trying to innovate and find better ways to increase value in the chain. The critical part of this definition is consumer and customer. So when we look at value-oriented retailing, it involves defining several things, but it always begins from a consumer perspective. Because there is no point in doing all of this. There is no point in having this conference here today if tomorrow we can't go out and serve the people of Chennai better, right? That's the reason for our existence. The value-oriented retailing process requires a clear definition of your price point. It requires you to be able to defend your position. I will beat any competitor's price. That's my position. And I will work to doing that in the best possible way. And I can defend that position because you can't go and buy a widget anywhere else at a lower price. And I work everything in my system to deliver that price to my customer. However, what is also important is to know what really is expected by the customer and what is it that I'm sort of getting a kick out of doing, right? I think this is a swell idea to give something extra, to have an event, to have somebody come and dance in the store, and I think it's nice to do. Does it really add value to the customer? Yeah. Also, I think in all of this is importantly considering your market segment. I don't need to get back into talking all of that. But the purpose of this little screen here is to say that it begins with the customer and it ends with the customer. So you want to be involved in defining customer satisfaction goals. You want to find ways to measure customer satisfaction, and that is the core of value-added retailing. And these are some things that people oftentimes do wrong. I won't spend too much time on this, just give you a moment to perhaps peruse it. But the last one is important. The customer is always right, sir, but I don't have time to talk to you. The customer is always right, sir, but I'm sorry, it's not